Do you remember Star Wars for NES? Well, the Sega Game Gear port of the game had additional levels, and I won't feel right unless I complete those too. So that's what I'm here to do. All I know is that the levels are about playing as Leia on board the Tantive IV, so let's see if they're any good. It's weird to me that the Game Gear is the system that got these extra levels, because the game was ported to the Master System too, but that one starts the same way the NES game does. The game was also ported to the Game Boy, but that was also just a faithful port of the NES version. I cannot figure out how to go in these elevators. The Game Gear doesn't have that many buttons. I must be missing something. Unless I'm not supposed to go in those elevators. That's how the NES version worked, so I don't know why it would be any different here. The running and jumping feels just about as loose as I remember the NES version being. Which I'm pretty sure someone commented about under the first video, so I'll have to go find that and put it on screen. Wonder how many lives I'm wasting, dying over and over like this. That crate being in the way makes me think that those elevators actually are part of the background. Why would they be covered up if they're meant to be functional? I decided not to look for any kind of manual to the game, since I've technically played it before. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Hopefully that doesn't end up coming back to bite me. If I remember right, the blue pickups are probably health. And I wish I had one right about now, and not at the beginning of the level. Oh, R2! More than just a checkpoint this time. Great. Princess Leia implants the secret plans into Art. Yeah, you guys know this plot. I don't need to read out everything that happens on screen for you to know what's happening. I suppose I could use clips from the movies to fill in whenever a character speaks, but that's too much effort for a BESWGE Gaiden video. I'm just gonna keep the cutscene short. You can pause and read this if you'd like. I probably won't get very far in this video since I've already beaten the game anyway. It'll be unnoticeable, I promise. Or maybe not. Oh, this is different. So this version doesn't have the land speeder at all. Oh, now I have a lives counter in the top right. Well, I was only going to play the game for the Tantive sections, but since that was only one level, and this seems to actually be a significantly changed version of the game so far, I might as well keep going. So now we're in the Sandcrawler. I remember these things. If the game isn't significantly different for the entire game, I'll probably just go until I get a game over. I definitely remember that Jawa jumping up and shooting like that. I'm forgetting how to play, which is weird because I feel like I was doing pretty good up until that point. Okay. Alright, remember, run and jump. And there should be a Jawa over here on a conveyor. Yeah, I remember all this. I guess besides from the first two levels, the game might just be identical to the first one. Well, if this game was structured properly, I would have started in that first cave where you get the second blaster that lets you shoot twice as fast. So when I say that this game feels more difficult, I think that's why. I wonder if the next level would be the caves, and if so, how many caves the game will actually go through. Because I remember them being somewhat optional. I mean, the only required one was getting Obi-Wan so you could get the lightsaber, and was that optional? I don't remember. Most of the caves just gave you shields for the Millennium Falcon sections, which I would absolutely recommend getting for beating the game, but they are technically optional. I would at least like to get the second blaster and the lightsaber, which I'm sure the game isn't going to skip over Ben Kenobi. Ah, there's a shield upgrade. I remember this one a little bit. I at least remember sucking at all the platforming. This is a dead end. Whoa, running backwards! That's a fancy move, Luke. It's a little unfair that you can't see the crushing things above the screen. Can't remember if that was in the original or not, but it's a little annoying. And my first game over. Probably won't be my last. Plenty of continues, though. I remember that. It was a big change-up from the Famicom game, which I still think might be the superior experience, to be honest. Okay, gotta remember this time. Wait for the things, then jump. I just need to use a little brain power, and then I can get through the game. I'm not supposed to be here. I should have done this closer to when I beat the NES game. I've lost all the muscle memory and actual memory I need to get through this quickly. I was hoping this could be a quick video to make, but not if I have to relearn an entire game. I really just want to know at this point about the caves, and then the game probably has the same cantina level and hangar level in Mos Eisley, so by the time I get to the Death Star, it will probably stop being different. So if I could just get to the Death Star, I'll consider myself having completed enough of the game. I just want to see any new content. Okay, so we get another traversal section on the outside. I guess this is just what replaces the land speeder sections. Oh man. It's really not too hard to spam the blaster when enemies appear. My problem is that I'm impatient and want to run through the whole section, and when I'm not going slowly, I end up losing health. And then lives. Ooh, that's new. Not really. I think those things were in the caves in the original. Aha! A cave! I wonder whose cave this is. Because if it's Kenobi's, I could just drop straight down to the left, and of course it's not Kenobi's. This isn't the first... Ah, that's a shame. Anyway, so this must be one of those optional caves I was talking about earlier, which means the only reason to be here is to get a shield piece for the Millennium Falcon. Which, you know what? That's good. I would have done that anyway. It does sort of take out the sense of exploration, though. But not having fall damage is definitely a plus. I don't remember falling down 2 spike walls like that. That is weird. Unless there's a really big mutant enemy over here. No? Whoa, what is this? Okay, the cave is not the same. This is a new cave. New cave alert. This is not a cave from the original. And it respawn. Okay, that respawned me much closer to the top than I thought it would. Or bottom, I mean. Unless I just found like a super shortcut to get down here, but I don't think I did. This cave is definitely much more vertical than the other ones. Way larger. Big gap here. Whoop. Jump! Wow. Ah, here we go. There's a shield part. Oh, you know what I just realized? There's probably all of the shield parts in this one cave, isn't there? I probably missed all of them. Oh, well, let me just find the exit, please. Just jump on the rocks. It's not that hard, man. Come on, Luke. I know you want to get through this just as badly as I do. Not like that! That's not the answer! Aha. Watch out for the bugs, bats, things. Aha! The exit! It's a Jawa. Nope, that's Ben Kenobi. Okay, one more traversal. I've got a sneaky feeling this is the way to Mos Eisley. So, to count all of the different levels thus far, there was one new one on the Tantive IV playing as Leia, and then 3 outdoors sections like this that are the substitute for the land speeder. The Jawa's Sandcrawler was the same, and there was one giant cave that replaced going to all of the individual caves. This is a new scene. Oh, so there is a land speeder part. I can't do anything. It's just a cutscene. Okay, this is the exact same Mos Eisley here. But the cantina, can I go in the cantina? Or do I just, Okay, I can go in the cantina, okay. So then I suppose the rest of this game is completely identical to the NES version. I just realized that the game was muted, so, sorry for only having background music and no sound effects for the last 20 minutes. Well, I'm kind of having fun, so I might as well keep going until I completely run out of continues. Wait, we started by the Millennium Falcon in the hangar this time. Or some other types of ships, I guess. Never mind. You telling me this one isn't the Falcon, though? Come on, look at it. Why is this not a box? The backgrounds in this game are way too detailed for their own good. And for my own good. Is that a joke? I don't know. Ah, that health's not worth it. Why did I go for that? I was already at full health. There's shields here. I remember. I'm gonna need them. Where are they? Yeah, there it is. Ah! Got it. I was never worried. I think I missed another shield if I had kept going up. Oh well. I don't remember you there. Okay, this part. I remember this part. I did not start with full shields, because I didn't find them all, but this shouldn't be too hard to just avoid all the asteroids. The part I'm really worried about now is the part after the Death Star, where you have to shoot down 1,000,000 TIE fighters. That's where most of my runs died in my original video. I was like, what, Season 1, Episode 7, or something like that? That was a long time ago now. Hey, I did it! See, that wasn't bad at all. Death Star time! And Han is dead! But that's okay, we still have Ben Kenobi, who can revive him. Hooray! Now we can use Han instead of Luke, because only Luke's extra lives matter in terms of game overs. It's just little tips and tricks like that that kept me alive the first time around. I wish I better remembered the layout of the Death Star specifically. I remember all the confusing elevators, and I just wish I could remember which elevator to go in specifically. I do recall a gap to the right here. Yeah, this, I think, is like a shortcut or something. I think this is the right way to go. And I'm actually gonna switch to Luke, just to get some health back. This seems correct to me. If I remember right, there's some drone thing. Oh, I should have picked that up as Luke. Oh well. Back to remembering. There's some blind jumps here and some drones that, well, used to knock me off, but I guess I've gotten better. Or the enemies have gotten worse. Why did I run over here? The elevator was right there. I could have avoided that entirely. Okay, one more time. This one, there's health. One more. Huh. I swear, I originally had to do those jumps hundreds of times. Now they don't seem that bad. Oh yeah, I forgot about the boss fights. That's not how you do them. That's not good. That's gonna be a continue. Lovely. Let's go on and on. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the part where we find Leia. She's in one of the detention cells. I don't remember which one, unfortunately. So we'll have to check them all. Nope, not here. I don't remember this level well enough to say whether the level designs are actually changed. I'm sure Leia is only going to be at the very end of this... Oh! Yay! We found her! Yeah, that's Leia, alright. Don't need to check any more cells now. We can just move on. Ah, yes, this room. I remember this room. I remember one or two specific jumps that were difficult. I'll point them out when I get to them. Yep, Han, now it's time for the Dianoga fight. Which, actually, I think was best used with a lightsaber. Of course, I can't switch to it when I'm dead. If my memory serves correct, we just let him jump at us and then go like that. I wonder why Luke didn't do that in the movie. He probably left the saber aboard the Falcon. This one has definitely caused me more grief. And I missed the jump. That's okay. I don't think that jump's possible anyway. Ah, that's not good. Oh, I can't switch mid-fall. Too bad. Hey, Ben. You know how you can bring people back to life? Can you do that again for me? Thanks, buddy. Okay, Leia, we gotta switch. You're injured. I don't know how many times Kenobi will actually heal the party, but I know there's a limit. And I know there's a spike wall if you keep riding that elevator, so smart to avoid it. I didn't get enough height. Please don't. And back to the beginning we are. Ben, your services are once again required. Well, Obi-Wan has refused to help, so I guess I have to tough the rest of this game out as Luke. And let's be real, everyone. This is not the kind of game you beat on the first try. I would need to play the game for probably another 3 hours to beat it, and I've been playing for an hour already. So I'm just going to accept at this point that I'm going to run out of continues soon, and my misery will be over. I genuinely have no idea how you're supposed to avoid getting hit on that elevator. I promise I'm not intentionally playing badly. I am trying to get through this section quickly, but that's because I'm getting frustrated and want it to be over. And that's it. We're done. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. So let's just look ahead at someone else's work. I definitely remember this part. This part is the worst part of the entire game. Maybe this version is better than the NES version, but I'm glad I don't have to do it again. And then the X-Wing part, equally as difficult, but slightly less. And this is the same trench run. Yeah, there's nothing unique about this game past the first 10 minutes or so.